person. Ooh, don't talk about them, they're here.
Absolutely. Well, they I don't think we're on LinkedIn. Yeah, it's just full of warnings and triggers and things. I've done something wrong here. I've definitely done something wrong. But anyway, Charlotte, let's begin. And maybe this isn't going anywhere, or nothing's happening. But we just mentioned. Oh, and Ian dropped out there. Oh no, it's you. It's him in the comments anyway. Yeah, you mentioned X. Did you have much? Did you have a bad day trying to get onto it today, Ian?
Well, yeah, the Cloudflare broke, didn't it?
Cloudflare, God, yeah, that killed the site for hours, and all sorts of other. Quite amazing. I didn't realize how many other things I used that use Cloudflare.
But did you notice the internet is supposed to be this
let's begin.
music video?
Russell spins, heli flying low. Drone alert, another show. War talk plays the same old card. Must be Russia trying too hard. False positives in stereo. Gatwick was the first show. All the panic on the press. No drone, just human GPS. BBC rolling elbow fake. One clip but fear sells so great. Pixel ghost and radar rain. We loop the loop, we miss the plane. Every flash becomes a war. Truth gets drowned in metaphor. Drone on star. Yes, we've come so far. Spin that fear, still not here. It's a vibe, just don't call it legit. False positives in stereo. Gatwick, New York, and Jersey showed. Politicians shouting bam. Well, Jupiter just spins around. Next time we be full of fight. Almost every light is a satellite.
Now, Ian, is it true you had to draw every frame by hand with Microsoft Paint?
I'm going to say that's a recap of Europe last few weeks in the style of drum and bass.
Well, there you are. There we are. And
Next week, a cappella next week.
Well, I wanted out what did you use in the prompt to get the rat around her feet? I didn't understand that bit at all. That was meaning beyond
comedy
mine.
value, because obviously she's singing in an alleyway and you
Yes.
have a rat kicking about, aren't you? So I just thought I'm going to put that in for a bit of comedy. There was Bruce Willis there as well, if you were paying attention.
Yeah, but he's got Alzheimer's now, something, hasn't he? So he probably didn't say much.
Yeah, no, that was better than the last one. So I think what we can say is he's improving. We're not hearing you, Stephen. We're not hearing you. I see you talking.
But that's good. Don't let him know.
Don't say that. Oh, don't mention that. Yeah. So the Cloudflare outage was quite a thing today.
But the internet used to be designed so to route round damage, but now we've got so many single points of failure being added to protect us that when Cloudflare goes out, everything crashes. When AWS crashes, everything's unavailable. When the DNS goes down somewhere, everything's unavailable. It's no longer fault tolerant as it once was.
True that. Very true.
Yeah,
let's get. Yeah,
I'm afraid we can hear you now, Stephen.
Okay.
Yes.
There's something wrong with my microphone. I have a new hub system, and I didn't test it, so I need to check that out. So, sorry, guys.
Well, it's working now. So, you can say it's working now. So who can tell me why this is important? Oh, come on. That's it. Apart from Drone and Pilots Legal Handbook. But who cares? Who cares about this?
Everyone's got to buy one.
I'm really losing interest with these new, just constant. I mean, we know why they're bringing them out, so they can get them out in the US before the ban, and all the rest of it. But to me, it's just so what.
Having looked at the reviews, the only thing that's got a slightly better low light performance, and apart from that, why would you bother?
Presumably, if it's got a variable aperture, can you get even a little bit of bokeh or that?
Only a tiny amount. It only goes to f2, and with the wide angle lens, it's nothing.
So really, it's just the low light then in that case.
Yeah. So you don't have to use NDs, I suppose. You can just close the aperture to get the shutter angle.
Oh, there we are. Well, that's a full and
Yeah,
frank
it's a-
review. A
it's-
new chapter now.
Affiliate link in
I-
the description.
Of course, absolutely, of course.
It has to be said, credit to them for doing this though, because how many years have GoPro been at it, and they've not even thought of doing this. So, I think
But you notice they've made it
some
incompatible
credit.
with all the old accessories. It's a different size body, so all your frames and stuff don't work. It's the way of that whole DJI thing. Buy everything again, you know.
Well, be honest though, GoPro did that every year, and it'd probably been at least 3-4 years of DJI not doing it. So you can't knock them for that. I don't think.
One thing people have noticed is missing is with the new sensor, they still don't have 4.3 or something. They like it's still 16.9 or something. Someone was saying, I don't know. I've only watched a couple of reviews and then decided it's not worth watching because I'm not going to buy one.
I've got this weirdly here. There's my phone's ringing. You may hear it or not hear. It's a number I don't recognise. We don't get phone calls this late at night here. If they try a third time, I might answer it.
Maybe someone's bought something on your Amazon account and you need to give them your credit card details to authorize it.
well, funny enough, I have. That's exactly what's happened.
I'm calling from
Oh,
Visa.
right.
We've been noticing unusual charges on your credit card.
Let's find out. This because it's not going to be a robot. You talk amongst yourselves.
Live on your
Let's see
scams,
what-
people.
See what happens here. Gary Road. Well, there we are. That's
It's
what
compelling,
happened.
isn't it?
It's just you never know. It's going to be an emergency, do you? That's the
They were
thing.
watching the stream and realised that the jig
But
was
this
up.
is an emergency. This is an emergency. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. A friend of mine, it's a housekeeping call, isn't it? But a friend of mine had a call from his brother at 3 a.m. the other day. It was a pocket call as he went out to work, but that completely panicked him for the rest of the day. But anyway, that's, you only ever get those calls. Yes.
Remember when we used to talk about drones on this program? That's a long time
Yeah,
ago.
I
wasn't it?
do. I'm just talking to Mr. Rouse and another thing. Oh, it's all kicking off here. Now this one as well. This annoyed me for several reasons. Have we all seen this machine?
No.
Anduril Trump colours just for the lols on the front. That annoyed me. That really, really, really annoyed me. And also they're claiming that they can't get it to fly with PX4 or ArduPilot, or they crashed it. I don't believe that at all. So yeah, they're very meh as far as I'm concerned. But it looks
It looks like something
Yeah,
you buy in a back street in Soho, doesn't it?
it's got
The
slickness.
airplane, to me, seems nice because that's got to be efficient because you're not wasting having like separate props to take you up vertically and then go to the horizontal flight. Are you? Those props takes you up, spins into that, and then away it goes.
But from an aerodynamic perspective, it's silly. Like you have horizontal tail surfaces to provide stability. It's got canards and a conventional horizontal stabilizer, which means you've got twice the drag, but you don't need the extra stability by having both of them. So what is the point? I think it's designed to look exciting.
Well, it does that. So yeah, it impressed me. You see, I just thought that does look exciting. So there you go. It worked.
But it's more exciting than the DJI Osmo being released today.
Oh, okay. All right. Then, we'll move on to the next DJI. But it just I also thought that Bruce. I just thought, there's an awful lot of drag on that thing.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure. And that's a big platform that doesn't several meter wings, and you get to the point where you might as well fly off a runway and like triple your endurance. If you're going to do something like that, even if
that
it's just
rear section solely for stability when it's sitting on the ground. I think it serves no other purpose.
Yeah, and that's some, twin engine. That's single engine out. I don't think. Well, it won't because it won't be able to fly, but it won't have the performance.
I want to know how these things take off and land in any kind of wind, because you've got to let wing area projected to the wind, or at least or the side area. It's going to try and rotate around. It's going to be a mission to have a limited operating range in terms of ground speed winds.
Well, you turn them sideways.
Yeah, but then it's going to try and yaw because all that tail surface is above the center line, so it's going to try and yaw. The wind will try and yaw it round, so you got to counter that. And the wing, it's a silly way to do it, in my honest
Yeah,
opinion.
but I thought it was as well. I wasn't that impressed. And now let's go here because it's a DJI. Oh no, or let's not. Let's not. What did I do then? Oh dear, it's all going terribly.
Amateurs.
It's all going.
Gee.
Absolutely, it's going terribly. Well, this
Neo,
does
too.
look quite nice, doesn't it?
But I looked at this because I was thinking, I love my little Neo and I use it a lot for filming and things, and it's great. The camera's pretty crappy, but it's okay because I'm only doing YouTube. It's not a motion picture. And I looked at this and I thought, this detracts from the big feature that the Neo 1 had, which is it's only 130 grams. This is 160 grams once you add the little bit on the back, or 150 without it. And also it's expensive. It's a lot more expensive than the original Neo. So for me, it's a no-go.
It's still sub 250.
It's 160 grams. It's still sub 250. But if I was going sub 250, I'd buy a Mini 4 Pro, whatever. Far more capable craft.
It still looks like a toy.
Well,
It seems to be
yes,
what it is, you know.
but I'm sure it's quite a good toy, isn't it? I mean, I quite fancy the thing myself.
I
But
don't see the point
it's-
of having collision avoidance on it when it's got shrouded props and you can just bounce off things anyway.
Yeah, true enough. Well, and it's only adding to weight, isn't it, and a degree of inefficiency as well. Now, on the DJI subject, because my word, it's beginning to get deafening. The noise about will they, won't they, are they, aren't they? Robbie Sen did a really, really great little piece for us with all, and he really nicely laid out all the security threats and what's been found and all that sort of thing. So if you've got people jumping up and down greatly, then this is the post to send them to. And they're 2017, starting it all off, our dear friend Kevin. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, there's been loads and loads and loads of issues that have been found.
I'm just
And
looking at that. You do realize that these days the average person has the attention span of a gnat. And it's a very long article.
well, yeah, but it had to go. Yeah, true, but it had to be out there. It had to go out before December.
Can you do a TikTok video of this?
Well, no, what we need to do is get Ian to do the music video, video version. Yeah, and it can't be any longer than 32 seconds or something, whatever the current absolute peak time is for it. Yes, it's got to get the entire story over in 30 seconds. And we've seen, haven't we, Ian, slightly different to this, but we have seen, and I won't post it because I might get into trouble or put it up, mention of RID and police forces using it to find and fine people in the UK, which I found very interesting.
Tell us more.
That's slightly reading between the lines, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is reading between the lines, but it is what's on their mind. That's for sure. And the National Police Chiefs Council drone flyers getting an idea of in their heads that it'd been quite nice if they were policing the skies. And that line that I've used so many times about watch out if you're here and you're speeding between towns, slow down when you find a shady tree about 10 kilometers out of the next town, because that's where the traffic cops hide to pick up their fines, which pays for them to work. Well, it looks like just like the UK police might be thinking about using that model with drone flyers and get a little bit of cash out.
But the RID model, okay, we're just repeating the same thing as we've been saying every week for the past year and a half. Is the RID model? It does not work. It's not going to work because, unlike speeders, they can't be. If you're speeding in a car, you can't be hidden. They will always see you unless you can make yourself invisible. But if any drone flyer wants to be hidden, they just don't activate RID. It's just not active.
But they're not coming to get. They're not coming to get to the ones that's really gonna. The ones that are going to be really nasty are going to hit whatever they want to hit or do whatever they want to do, and that's that. Nothing's going to stop them. But if you can pick up 20 quid here, 30 quid here, 40 quid there for people flying 100 meters into whatever no-fly zone or 25 meters too high, it's easy money, isn't it?
But I think that most of these organizations, what we're seeing now with a lot of these organizations and is that they are now starting to actually buy their own drone detection kits, and they're starting to have that in place. We're starting to see that this is now becoming kind of normal to see drones that are flying, and they don't need RID for that because they can do it via RF, and that is how you spot. So the amount of money that is being wasted and the amount of time and the amount of effort that is going in to focus on RID, when it's I keep on saying this, but it's like homeopathy. People think that it's something, but it's actually not.
No, surely not.
Homeopathy for drones.
Yeah, I prefer to buy that stuff from the chemist, placebo, and then they've got the stronger stuff, placebo forte. That's really good.
Exactly.
Cures everything.
Placebo forte, yeah. Well, look, this is what, and this isn't the only company touting it now, but drone detection as a service. This is something we've said quite a bit. Can you tell I'm stalling now because Philip is making his way to his hotel room for his telling us the world now. But drone detection as a service. We should just set it up ourselves. We really should, and start raking in the money. Let's dob them in. Let's dob them all in. But
it's not actually dobbing them all in. It's now becoming, with the threats that we're seeing, we're starting to see that there are requests coming in for this service. And I think that it's better that you have drone companies who know what they're doing with it, rather than put it in the hands of people who don't know what they're doing with it, who can
that'll be us.
Yeah, of course.
But considering how much money they lose at an airport if they have to close it, why don't they have drone detection equipment there? Like 1 hour of being out of service would pay for the whole damn lot, wouldn't it?
Well, they do have the stuff in service. They've got RID.
I'm talking about effective drone detection.
It was what's come out of Belgium is they've done the entire country, and they've done it in RF detection. So obviously they thought, well, we could have the video EOIR head and be able to see the drone and evidence it, but that would be expensive, so we're not going to do it. And then, like you say, Bruce, it costs you far more money closing down the airport, because you have no idea when someone sees something, whether they're seeing something real or not. But as we're seeing, go.
Well, so it's probably quite a good idea that you've been off X today, because X has been off today, because some people have been getting very, very angry with you about these drones, or alleged drone sightings when you've been shooting them down.
Maybe there'd be more money
Oh,
in
you mean
detecting aircraft flying at night.
Are you on about the UFO people?
Yes, various people that are quite angry.
Yeah, I found on X, it's got a nice feature actually for articles. So I did an article actually on Metabug to explain. I've got quite a few journalists now that have started following me. And I'm thinking what mention it was. There was a mention, and there was a couple of things that went out in the news yesterday in Europe. But Lake and Heath was mentioned, and so I think it's in relation to that. But I thought it would be handy to put a few articles up. But when I put the article up, I thought I'm going to turn it off for comments, because I know what had happened within 10 seconds of that being on. You'd have because unfortunately you've got, like we've had on the show, is we've had like the balanced UAP people that are just interested in, wouldn't it be cool if there was like some, unknown aircraft that's in development, that's fine about, and someone that, and someone's caught it, that kind of thing. And then you've got the religious types, mainly in the US, that are completely, they're well gone. The moment you say something's an aircraft and you show them the video of it, they go, that's mimicry. The UFO has put a shield around itself and it's now pretending to be an aircraft. And you go, yeah, it's on ADS-B, there's passengers on it. They're coming out of it and they're going, oh no, that's the UFOs fooling you. That is, and then I'm like, at that point, it's just like, look, I can't talk to you anymore. Bye bye. So yes, there's oh yeah, from the US. He's an actor. He's an actor, and yeah, and he spent the entire weekend trying to argue with me. But obviously, I know this topic anyway, so it's like, yeah, here's another link, and here's another link, and here's another link. So he cracked in the end, and then he was just shouting out of his own timeline to his followers because he just won't accept the fact that airports and that they make mistakes, and that people, once these things start, they escalate and they go on for a while. But it's everything. It's like, I don't know why they jump in and argue with these things if they haven't even done the slightest bit of looking into it. And then he went for the famous line of, what people always say. I follow the evidence, and I'm like, yeah, that's literally what you're not doing. If you're doing freedom of information to blah blah, fair enough. But yeah, go and knock yourself out. So yeah, you're quite right. But
follow the evidence. CNN,
Well,
that's your level
I follow the evidence. It means he's watching Fox News.
Yeah.
Which is, funnily enough, on that, there's Chris Emsley that did a kind of a graphic on X a while ago called the airport sighting. Something loop. I forgot to mention, but basically, it's the whole thing's a cycle. It's a loop. You see a sighting, the police then confirm it. Then everyone goes out and looks out of the house and sees stuff that adds to the sightings, and it just snowballs. So I sort of built upon that and integrated the fact that the press get involved, and then you've got those journalists that will run stuff they know is a helicopter, but they want the clicks. And how that all adds into it. And then you got the politicians at the end that don't know about drone sightings or misidentification. So they start then making policies or saying things on the TV. And that, again, snowballs it all. So I just sort of broke it down to do that as a little article for journalists that are starting to look at it. In the EU, it's really good now. You've got, journalists from Norway through to Belgium now and Denmark. I mean, Denmark was done with it a while ago. They were questioning. It's got to the point the authorities just, like in Denmark, they don't want to speak to journalists at all now because they're sick and tired of getting quizzed. But I actually did do SUS News. I went to the Belgian authorities. I went to partly because of this UFO guy just going reading stuff and then making his own scenarios out of it. So he was going, but they launched helicopters. This helicopter, it chased the drone, and it was chasing it into another country. Then it had to break off the pursuit, which none of this is said in the story at all. He's just looked. I said, look, mate, they've launched a helicopter. This is what they always do. Don't read too much into it. The chances are someone's seen a light. They've called the helicopter. Helicopter's got there. There's nothing to see. Flies around for a while, goes back to the base. But he wasn't having it. So I then got in touch with the local police, the federal police. Then they all then said, oh, we can't talk. We're not. They wouldn't even confirm that the helicopter had been in a pursuit, despite the fact politicians, I think right up to defense minister, has literally said this had happened. So then they said, oh, you're going to have to speak to Ministry of Defence. I spoke to Ministry of Defence, and they're going, no, we're not talking about this. And I'm thinking, yeah, this is the same old pattern. You're not talking about it because it never bloody well happened. And there won't be any evidence again. But all you can do is ask. And at least that's a good thing. That was a funny thing, actually, why I think some of the journalists started following, because I'm asking the kind of questions and they're thinking, what's this guy doing? Asking our military these questions, because I was asking, like, what helicopter model was it? Did it have EOIR? Did a chase take place? Did you have the video? But these were all perfectly reasonable questions. So it got me thinking at the end of this, I'm going to do an article telling journalists what questions to go and ask when they're doing the press queries, because the only way you can sort of find out if there is anything genuine or not is putting the authorities on the spot a bit and saying, come on, if you're saying this has happened, prove it.
Yeah, it's Go on, mate.
I've just checked. You're streaming twice. You got 2 YouTube streams up at the moment.
Awesome.
Different numbers of viewers on each one, but you've got 2
Really?
streams running. Yeah, concurrently.
Oh, there you go. Oh.
Yeah.
Don't ask me to look. It will be beyond my pay grade. Well, that's why you're here.
Now. Apparently, we have clones.
Clones, indeed. This one made me chuckle. Of course, it takes forever to bring these up. Did you see this? China wins first ever FAA World Drone Soccer Champ. What?
I didn't know there was such a thing.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I think it started in the US, didn't it?
Oh, did it? Now they've lost.
Yeah.
Well, how do they? Well, it's Korea strong third, but how on earth do they? Bad trolls. There you go. How's it, mate? How's it?
G'day.
So, well, Philip, now you've joined us, you can answer the important question: how do you
What's
play drone soccer that China's dominated?
Drone soccer.
Yeah,
I think
come
it's
on,
a big
Philip, you should
ball.
know.
It's actually a big ball, and they have
Is
it
it?
in a kind of a closed area. And
Oh,
they
it's
have
behind
drones
them.
flying.
There
Is
it is behind them. Yeah.
Oh.
So it's like a big ball, and then they use the drone to get it into the goal.
So would this be called drone football in the UK?
It would be, yeah.
Football, soccer. Yeah, I mean, and
would
you'd
be.
have Australian rules drone football. You'd have, you could have the rugby version. You make it egg shapes. Yeah, I mean, what a world we lived in. What a world to live in.
Obviously,
All right,
a very
now that-
mature industry now.
yeah, absolutely. Now that Philip's here, we can share this tab instead and say, what have you done now, Philip?
Well, well, for once, I'm not causing trouble. I'm trying to deal with someone who is causing trouble. We all know our friend over at Nordic, who managed to sell off all of his company except for a patent that he is now trolling everyone with. But anyway, so Mr. Nut Raw Wig is causing trouble around the world with his patent that shouldn't be a patent. It is 100% prior art. There's nothing creative about it at all. But anyway, without getting into too many of the details, I don't want to feed him either. What we are doing is trying to find those key little bits that we know are out there, but we need to find them described well, preferably prior to 2006. And then basically we can finish the job that we've started. So we've already had the patent wiped off in China completely. So it's no longer patented in China. So, that's good for Chinese drone makers. We had some success in the US, but it has they have then contested against that. So we'll be contesting against that again. Basically, I've given our legal team a bottomless pit and said, destroy this troll. So, anyway, we're there's obviously some court action going on at the moment. So there are certain companies that we sort of can't name at the moment, but it wouldn't take too much for all of you guys to figure out who's actually in action, in litigation against these guys at the moment. And we're all sort of cooperating to share as much information as we can with each other to try and get some common sense in there. Obviously, the concept of a coaxial propeller setup is so ridiculously prior art that it's ridiculous. I mean, we're talking at the earliest the 1800s, and if we start talking about things that actually flew, then we're talking about the 50s and 60s, and it's such a significantly obvious bit of prior art. As far as vehicles that actually exist that are genuine prior art, that fit all of the categories that are required. The Moeller air car that I'm sure everyone who read Popular Mechanics back in the 90s will remember. It had
On pre-order now, isn't
counter-rotating.
it?
Yeah, exactly. That's the one. It had counter-rotating props powered by Wankel rotary engines, one per propeller, and yeah, they were individually controllable, etc., etc. It meets everything required for the for what's left of the patent. So
Does it?
you know, oh yeah, it's pretty much the most obvious of all of them, but there's plenty of others. What we actually need, though, is just some of the notes that sort of go with some people's designs. Like I've been chatting today with someone who also has a patent in this area. I won't mention them just in case they don't want to be mentioned, but
Well, I'll remove that.
they-
I'll remove that wording then.
Actually, I just did a Google. It says early coaxial helicopters date back to the 18th and 19th centuries. So yeah, prior art.
yeah, it's. I mean, the whole thing's pathetic. But look, the guy is just proving, unfortunately, that he is not a useful member of the drone community. There are things that you want to protect. There are things that you know, from personal experience, having all of your stuff copied and being told that you weren't, someone who was significant at the beginning of all of this stuff, something you sort of get used to in this industry. But this particular person was not significant at the beginning of this industry. He bought his way into it, and yeah, he's just trolling his way out of it.
Doesn't it run out in a couple of years anyway, though?
It does, but without feeding him, there are reasons why that still matters. And will continue to matter. Unfortunately, when a patent ends, it doesn't end. There are still issues. So, and the other point is, we do want to send a message in the drone industry that this is an industry where it has been built on people cooperating with each other. DJI's Phantom 3 had a pin-to-pin copy of what we were doing on the ArduPilot PX4 Pixel project at the time. The world is built on people sharing information, willingly or not. And we can sit there and try and sue each other all the time, but that doesn't really it doesn't really get anyone anywhere. It doesn't help.
Maybe he'll use the patent for good, like Kenji Sukahara did with his remote ID patent.
As far as what we're actually doing with this, we've got a $40,000 so far bounty on whoever does find that smoking gun. The smoking gun is the one that ends up in the court documents as that bit that saved the day. And if there's multiple get picked, then we'll spread the love around. So yeah, if you can dig up things, there are some sort of conditions of like it's got to actually fix the problem. Picking things like a K-Max or picking things that were invented in the 1800s. The whole concept of a coax is clearly not what anyone's arguing here, because that's clearly prior art. You would think that should be the end of the story, but apparently it's not.
So what's the bit he's patented?
They're looking for things that have multiple motors and shrouding and a few other things. So, yeah.
The Hiller flying platform.
Anyway, there you go.
Hiller flying
So
platform
have a look at the
coaxial
Operation
shrouded
Reverse
prop.
Twist and see what you think.
I think. Well, which platform did you mention there, Bruce?
The Hiller flying platform, coaxial with a shrouded prop with a coanda lip on the edge, covers all those things.
Is Bruce actually muted, or am I?
Oh,
No,
it's my
you're
microphone.
not.
Oh,
No, I can hear you, Bruce. I can hear
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Maybe you're banned in that country.
That's
You could be
probably,
banned
yeah.
in the country that Philip is currently in.
I am currently in Germany.
Well, I can see him banning Bruce. I mean, that's perfectly
Yeah, that's
reasonable.
if you're in
I
Australia,
can-
it'd just be the age gating that would be the problem.
yeah. He's mentioning the Muller flying car, not the Muller
Hiller-
flying car. What
Hiller
is
flying platform.
Hiller flying car. I was reading the comments.
What was the Hiller flying car? What's that one?
No, flying
Hiller-
I
platform.
was saying the Muller.
Flying platform. Hiller flying
okay.
platform.
Yep. Yeah, so it's not just simply a matter of things that are quads or things that are coaxes. Like there's this sort of series of things that it has to be. The pattern is actually very specific, and to actually run foul of it, you have to be very unfortunate because in the package of what they tried to patent in the first place, they were basically knock back, and they just kept trying and narrowing it. And if you don't exactly meet the terms, then you're probably okay. But probably okay, unfortunately, doesn't stop you from being sued. It just means that you're more likely to win. But basically, the typical role of a patent troll is to go against the people that can't afford to defend themselves and set up the. Now they've made some mistakes in that. I mean, they've gone out. He's gone up against BAE and a few people like that as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think the BAE one, the decision happened on the 25th of October, if memory serves correctly. And the chap that put me onto that also doesn't know what the decision was, even though he was the bloke that had the original, because it's behind one of those legal websites. And it only just occurred to me as we started, I should have asked Richard, because he's probably got a subscription to those services. And he can probably get hold of it. It's just as we started.
Have a look.
Yeah, Rich, if you're watching, can you get us this, please? Because that was relative to the UK patent, wasn't it? It wasn't a worldwide one.
And this is one of the other problems: is even when we defeat it in one area, that doesn't necessarily mean he can't still troll in another area. So even if we have a win in Europe, for example, where we are currently, there's a lawsuit going on at the moment that we're part of in Europe. Actually, there's a couple of them, but anyway, and even if we win one of those, that doesn't necessarily affect the other one. Europe has this funny rule where once a patent is granted in one country, it applies to all countries in the EU. But if you squash it in one country, they forgot to put the wording in and say that it squashes in everything. So you have to fight in each individual one. So, that's painful. But at the same time, it means he has to be defending it or attacking it in each individual one as well. So, he's busy.
Has he won many of these cases? Because where's he getting his money from to go out and fight all this? Then?
I'm not aware of him winning anything. What I'm aware of is people folding because they run out of cash or they don't feel like they can do whatever. I think the days of that are over now that we've got everyone sort of talking and working together. But
And so you've definitely got one VZ1 Pawnee. I don't know what a VZ1 Pawnee is, MTV. I'm going to have to search that if that's some sort of a thing.
Sounds like an aeroplane, but
it does, doesn't it? Let me have a look for that. I don't know. It's the Hiller. Oh, that's the Hiller platform. Yeah, when you stood on the thing with your rifle up, ready to shoot, as well as that was wasn't that controlled by the bloke just leaning?
Yeah, it was just weight shift.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
because they're very stable.
Yeah, but that's the other definition is how it's controlled matters. So,
that would be
they had to get very specific to be able to get this patent through, and that's sort of one of the problems is that they've gone so specific on all these sort of dodging between all of this rubbish. That it's clearly BS. Every single claim in it is BS. Every single claim is prior art. Look, don't get me wrong. We've got some patents that are absolute bullshit as well. But at least I admit it, and I'm not suing anyone for it. We've got one that is clearly prior art, but we added for use in a drone. And therefore, that's novel. And unfortunately, the patent system has become pretty pathetic and pretty useless. You shouldn't be able to do that.
No, absolutely. Yeah, the whole thing is a nonsense. I think Bruce has disappeared, but he has a great saying about that. Now, what's your saying about patents?
Who?
You, Bruce. You.
Oh, I didn't say anything about patents.
No, you have that great phrase about patents.
Oh, it's a
can't
license to
remember what
sue. That's all it is. Just a
There we
license
are.
to sue.
That's it. There we are. I knew it'd get there in the end.
Well, am I the only one that can't hear Bruce?
Yeah, you
I
have
can't hear
been
myself.
Bruce. You are Bruce Locks, Geo Bruce Locks.
Can I only hear you? I'm assuming.
I
the
don't
only
know.
person
Yeah,
I've heard
anyone else?
talking is you.
Hello, you hear me?
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. You are Bruce Geo Locks. Sorry about
Okay.
that. It's
Got
just
Aussie filters
regulations.
on.
Aussie
Wait,
filter.
I've got the wrong passport. That's why.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh, you got it.
If I had my Kiwi passport with me, I'd be able to hear him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's probably for the best. It's probably for the best. If I hear him. No, it's a crazy story, but it's one of many. I mean, if you were to unpack the drone industry, it's absolutely stuffed full of things like this.
It's
wild
stuffed full of
claims and
assholes
weird
to
claims.
be nice. Like there's so many people just trying to screw over the industry. I mean, Dan Halliwell. Oh no, I'm not meant to mention names.
No, don't
you
mention
know, like, there are people
Oh,
that are
God.
just hell bent on destroying the industry. Like I don't really get it. I mean, I got into a bit of a tiff last week after your show with a guy who was disappointed at the shenanigans on this platform, and I did inform him that he needs to watch about 12 years worth of shenanigans to understand that that's just how it is. Get over it.
Oh, what did we do wrong last week?
I think it
What
was
did we do right?
he was
Yeah.
Belgium, and he was upset that you were making a
Oh.
mockery of his whole nation. I said, no, they make a mockery of England, Australia, everywhere. It is
Nobody gets special
don't take
treatment.
it personally.
We didn't even mock Belgium. We had a,
Anyway, I
had
said
a guy
it
from
was your
Uruguay
media
here.
that made the mockery of Belgium, not anyone else. So yes. Anyway,
So
You
we're
get
this
it.
close to being cancelled then, is that right?
I think he tried, but we took it offline and had quite a polite conversation. We agreed to disagree in the end. It was all good.
I think we're equal opportunity mockers. I think that's what we are.
It's a bit like The
Yeah.
Simpsons, you know.
Is it cold in Belgium? You
Insult
get
everyone
snowflakes?
and you should be good.
I still can't understand how anyone would have been upset with it because all we were doing
So
was
what else is news?
doing a fair analysis.
But I think the trouble with a lot of these recent ones is really senior government people have been stating things as it's absolute fact. And it's being reported as absolute facts. And it's like,
Well,
whoa, slow down.
Well, a cute little detail of when the Danish drone thing happened, and you know, then they drove their car into Zelensky's motorcade. Zelensky's next stop was the hotel that I was actually staying at in Kyiv. So I had my first experience of being under a night sky that had multiple hostile drones attempting to attack and take us out. It is a very surreal experience to be there when I could hear the drones. I could hear the sirens, I could hear the drones, but I couldn't see anything. I've seen plenty of things that I've thought were drones that turned out to be aircraft. But to be in a situation where, you know, there definitely are drones there, you can hear them, you know they're there. They are scary. But at the same time, the Ukrainians weren't panicking. They were getting on with their life as much as possible. All of us visitors were running down and spending time in the shelter for the first couple of nights. By the time it was the last night, I did a nice tour of Kyiv in the middle of the bombing raid, which was pretty cool because there was no other traffic. So it was a good way to get around the town. But there's that level of panic, and that's what's wanted. And unfortunately, all of these authorities are actually falling for the, as they call it, you know, hybrid warfare. Well, the easiest attack now is just to ring up and say, "Hey, saw a drone," and then everyone panics. That's the easiest way to lose this battle is panic. We've got to not panic. That's, you know,
Yeah, but
it's
the
what's
panic-
the old motto from
Yeah.
World War II in England? You know,
Keep calm and carry on.
Yeah. But the panic which has been spread by the press is really. I was talking with a drone operator who came to visit me today. He was borrowing one of our drones, and he brought it back, and he's doing power line inspections, and he's doing them pretty much in the middle of nowhere. But of course, there are houses there and stuff like that. And when you're in the middle of nowhere, you have the farmer type people, you have the people with the guns, and he said that since the past month and a half, he's had more threats from people who see him flying a drone. And of course, he's got all the PPE gear on and all the rest of it and whatnot. But they come out and they have a gun and they're, I'm going to shoot your drone out the sky. And it's like, why are you going to do that? Because these things are bad. Now that's really only come since all these news articles. And he was sitting here today, he was sitting right there, and he was saying, this is, this is quite unbelievable that this is happening now, that this is a reality, and it's like, yeah, it's just because of the news. If it wasn't because of the news, this wouldn't be happening.
It shows how quickly, though, this is why, it's obviously been a thing where I banged on about this for years, because that's why I experienced myself, and that's why I did the Freedom of Information to begin with, because I had two experiences in a short period of time with people like in my face, ready to assault me for the fact I'm just, and it's not like I was even fighting anywhere near them. I've been at a field in the middle of nowhere, bothering nobody, and it was people actually seeking me out to have an argument because the news had told them how bad drones were. So it doesn't surprise me for a moment, albeit it should be said there's been a lot of good journalists now in Europe, especially started off with I think it was Norway was particularly good in that they were questioning the authorities. They listened quite quickly to
Norway shut it down quick though, didn't they? Norway were very quick to whoa, slow down. They were good.
But I think part of that was the fact that the press were on it. They would listen to the fact of saying, look, we've been there, we've got the T-shirt, it's happened at Gatwick, it's happened, we've had patterns of it at Lake and Heath, there was New Jersey, New York, and they would listen and they would look and they would read and they go, you know what, you're right, we can see a pattern here, we'll actually challenge our authorities. And in Belgium, that's probably been, if it feels a little bit slower because having gone, it might not be, it might just be the fact that we've seen it so many times now, it's just getting frustrating seeing it repeat. Because there's definitely been journalists where they put bits in. They're trying to, they're covering both bases a bit at the moment in Belgium. They're going, yeah, they're saying this, and there's indicators here for what we've seen in Norway and so on. So the tide is definitely turning on, and the last few days it's been really good from Europe, but the BBC is undermining it all because they've got their security correspondent, so no technology correspondent, no transport correspondent, no. It's the security one who writes fiction books as well in his spare time or whatever. It's his second, he does that as well, and he's loving appears to be loving the whole narrative of it's Russia, but that's all. And this is what we've had a complaint to, and that's what's gone on to Ofcom. It's like this. Will not listen. The BBC will not listen at all to the fact, and it didn't even apologise to the fact that it had used footage that it claimed was Aalborg Airport that wasn't, and that's it's just building on it. It will not even listen to what's being said in Europe and all the journalists in Europe that are saying, "Hang on a minute, there's no evidence." In fact, the evidence is to the contrary. Because for any viewers that don't know, it's come out in the last few days. It's leaked out that Copenhagen, that kicked off a load of panic in Denmark. That was like the initial airport, and then it went around the rest of the country. The air traffic controllers didn't even see a drone, so that's actually recorded. Where a drone a drone was seen was where, as we said on SUS News at the time, Gary, you were quite firm about leaving it there as the headline. Was that training aircraft was what flew over the person that made the sighting, and it flew over them twice. So even the journalists that a lot of them probably wouldn't have experienced drones before, but they are looking at the data, and even they're saying it looks like it's the training aircraft. So the tide is turning, but it's just frustrating when the BBC.
But similarly, I don't think we mentioned it last week that Lakenheath's also been, because I think it's happened since last week. Lakenheath was a member of the public. So let's just go very quickly. We go Gatwick, security guard, Lakenheath, member of the public, Denmark, somebody watching a training aircraft. It's what report
didn't they call them credible witnesses? Jeez.
But
it's changed my title from expert drone driver to credible
witness. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Can you hear Bruce now that you're back? You're back.
Yeah, I can.
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah,
he's VPN on. That's why he's
yeah. I
remove the Bruce block.
New Zealand.
We all need a Bruce block.
I'm going to say for Lakenheath, it's worth pointing out that it's not the very first sighting, but that could still be a member of the public. But that's a question that needs asking. But this is the MPAS helicopter that got sent up to go and chase the F-15. We all assumed, and keep in mind,
guns.
The freedom of information was being refused on this and was just about to go to the ICO. So Suffolk Police were fighting this to make sure it would never go public. But it was a member of the public that called it, not even the base. So you're thinking, why?
Of course, it wasn't the base. The base knew the base knew that there was an F-15 up. So why would they report it?
Well, I assume they would have still had some conversation with the base to have put the helicopter up, but who knows? But yeah, it is. As soon as I saw that, and it came back, because what happened was actually one of the UAP guys, he got to the ICO first. Suffolk Police that had put their entire case of we're not answering in any of this on the helicopter incident, and said that's national security. And because when that came out in F-15, they realised they were going to lose all these cases, so they would just end up spaffing a load of money fighting something they would lose. So they dropped straight away for this UAP guy, gave him his answers, and then I'd not even got to the ICO yet. It was probably weeks away. And they said, look, we're answering it now. So I think what they're actually doing now is just answering them, trying to get rid of it all and move on. But yeah, it does need questioning. What was the source of the very first sighting, and maybe even the first few? But that proves what Gary has been saying on this show for years. It's almost his catchphrase, which is all you need is a phone to close
That's
down.
all you need. I've got it here somewhere. Where's my prop? My prop's gone.
However, the silly thing is, if they actually wanted to make a big deal, there is plenty of data from the other side of things. Sydney's a great example. Sydney restricted airspace. There's drones there daily, and they are in conflict with helicopters and stuff like that. That's actually a real risk. The idea of smacking into a drone with a helicopter scares me. But these things don't get reported, and yet they're real. The only stuff that's being reported is the stuff that's rubbish. The A380 versus a drone in Nice turned out to be a maintenance.
That was hangar rash, wasn't it?
Oh, something along the
lines.
Oh
no, that was mechanical. That was, and it was a known mechanical failure as well that had occurred a number of times prior.
Yeah.
You've all seen the great redactions in every newspaper and every television program news program that aired that. You'll all have seen the front page. Oh, we're sorry we went about. I'm sure we've all seen that. There's no doubt. it was out there.
The point that Philip's making there, just to go back for a moment, because it's an important one, is that that's what we've seen in the UK as well. And I think that's probably true, very much around the world, is that we have all these silly incidents and all the ones that are in the press that are non-incidents, and money's being wasted chasing stuff that isn't there. And then on the other side, where you do have people misbehaving,
No one's
they're
enforcing
left
it.
to it.
Yep.
Well, you can also really, I mean, if I ruled the world and had a limitless amount of money, I would be after having, well, my Altitude Angels towers all around known airspace squeeze points, and just look at all the general aviation that's bobbing through, cutting corners and going through various things. So there's no need just to contain it down to drones. General aviation is going where it should
on the
be.
general aviation side of things. I had a interesting situation a few weeks ago. To protect the not so innocent, I won't mention all the details, but basically in a helicopter heading in a opposite direction to a replica Spitfire, close enough that I could see the pilot's details in the Spitfire. It was a little scary, and he wasn't on ADSB. Like, he had no transponder. Now, not that would have helped, because we actually looked up the app, after the incident, and discovered he didn't have one. But the fact that there is no mandatory ADSB in-out with TCAS on GA it just astounds me. All this talk about drones, we have collisions and near collisions in GA on a regular basis, and yet we're down to
I would say a daily basis. You have it in, if you think globally, there's always incidents, and they're all documented now. There's cameras everywhere, so you see that. But yeah, you're right. It's
well, almost weekly we have a hit, don't we? Somewhere in the world there is a midair.
Yeah,
they should put ADSB on the ground, because lots of planes collided with that.
It's obvious, that, isn't it? Really, when you think about it,
Well,
I mean, that's the obvious way
still
out. Yeah,
TCAS, terrain collision avoidance. Yes.
yeah. Well, if they made the Earth out of rubber, then they'd just bounce off, wouldn't they? I mean, that could be another thing. You could
Then
do,
it wouldn't
all that
be
sort
Earth.
of thing.
Talking
Then
about
it'll be Earth,
the lack of transparency in airspace as well. I've not had time to look at this because Europe's been trying to send us into World War III based on drones that aren't there. That's kind of occupied me at the minute. But what did get my attention is I was sent, and I guess it must be in the AAIB thing that went out this week, whereas it looks like we have yet another police incident being shielded by the AAIB to look like a commercial operator again, because there was a report of a Matrice M30T. I wonder who flies those. Hitting police cordon tape. No wonder who'd be flying a Matrice near police cordon tape.
I'm sorry, why does that need to be reported, though? Like, half of these incidences don't need to be reported. So what? A drone crashed. Whoop-de-flippin' do. That's the whole point of drones, is we don't care that they crash. Like, I think even that, I know it's funny because it's the cops that did it, but that's it. That's the level of safety and the level of attention that it really should get, is it's funny. But the only reason it becomes serious is because they're the ones pushing for the law.
Yeah.
And to in defense of the air wing guys, most of them are pretty cool. It's the other side, the counter US side, that are the painful people in that department. But yes, anyway.
But you wrote propaganda. I had a list of the CIA.
Nicely backpedaled there. Nicely backpedaled, Philip. Very good. You reversed out of that very well.
I've got friends in that department, so
beep. There you go. This is reversing it out.
I got a list of incident reports from CAA in New Zealand. There were 600 incident reports for drones, make the numbers look good. And one of them was drone landed in long grass, recovered no damage. That's an incident? Seriously?
Yeah,
this is what they're doing to bump the numbers up. Anything that could possibly be
this
considered.
Is the problem, though. we've set the law, so you have to report these things. And I do agree with you, Philip. If stuff's a trivial thing and it's just, on landing it's had a bit of a bump, you put new props on, whatever, and it's all fine. There's no damage. You could say fair enough, and the law maybe should be that way, but it should be if you apply that, it's to apply to everyone equally. We can't have if you're
how do we apply this to cars first? Could you imagine if every time someone had a bit of a scratch with a shopping trolley, we needed a NTSB report? I mean, or ATSB in Australia. I'm sorry, it's just ludicrous. The point of these is they're unmanned. If they injure someone or they come very close to injuring someone, a near miss, fine. Do something then, if it's no different to any other incident. But yeah.
Look at this bull dust that appeared on LinkedIn today. And it is just nonsense. And this is selling counter UAS.
What a surprise!
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't help the whole thing of everything, does it? And to put Ukraine in there, that'll be like,
I know.
It's like,
drone innocent. Yeah. That's right. I had someone contact me the other day. I won't mention the company they were from, and they were basically saying, "We've got photos of your equipment in an enemy drone." And they wanted to make a big deal of it. They wanted to just make it an issue. And I just said, look, number one, I think someone's pulling your chain, because I saw the pictures and knew I recognized the aircraft. Couldn't figure out which one it was, but tracked it down. It's a Ukrainian aircraft. So it was friendly, etc., etc. And it was just like trying to make a big deal, to make a point, gain some ground, and in the process, damage the industry even further. What are you looking at, Gary?
Oh, that was
Blake
Silverland. That's for
Blake Seven.
Like 7.
Cliff. No, it's Damos. That's for Cliff. That's for Cliff. Because that's just come out in New Zealand. It's the top #1 show in Cliff World.
The pilot episode he had last night.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she died recently, didn't she? Shame. Yeah, Silverland. How do I go? I can't get rid of this. Let's just go stop. Oh, there we are. Stop screen. That'll do that one.
Going now. His brain's just gone off somewhere else.
Yeah, absolutely. I used to like that program as well. And I was also looking here, because I'm wondering if it was my friend Rick Lee coming the other way in that Spitfire, because he's the test pilot for him down there. So maybe it was him in those replica things. He's the bloke that landed a Hunter at Avalon with not enough fuel to taxi in.
I'm sure he's really rapt that you announced that on a
It's all right. Nobody watches this, Philip. It's okay. No, that's more than
too. Apparently,
apparently,
following on people that clearly haven't watched it enough to understand. But
This is what you call a vanity stream.
vanity stream. Excellent. Explain how that works.
We come on here and we say we're TV stars. Yeah. How many people are watching right now?
It's only 15. Only 15.
15. Oh, it's the big numbers.
But they're loyal. That's
are,
the thing.
they
They're
are
loyal.
There's
They're loyal.
3 on one stream and 13 on the other.
That's right.
Wait, which stream has the 3?
Well, they look the same to me.
There's
There's
also
2
LinkedIn
icons,
as
2
well.
streams. Take your pick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You also have
But
LinkedIn
whatever
as
we
well.
do, we don't cross them. We don't
No,
cross the
that would be
streams.
fatal.
That would be
Never
bad.
cross. Never cross the streams. So what else? Look, we've gone over the hour and talking nonsense. What else has happened this week that really caught our eye other than all the DJI news?
I should have sent you a video. I took a video in Dubai at the airport just as we were lining up to take off. The aircraft behind us had a major incident that ended up with it being surrounded by 4 fire trucks squirting it with foam. which was sort of interesting. But that won't make the media. It's only 777 nearly catching fire, and no big deal. But yeah,
Which one was it? The new 777, or was it? Was
well,
it
the
just
new
one that
777s aren't flying yet, so yeah, an old
The
one.
one with the lithium batteries.
They
No,
must have fixed that.
the problem was not the batteries. The problem was definitely the liquid runny stuff pouring out of the hole in the wing. But anyway,
Were they not flying the new 777 in Dubai this week? No.
oh, they probably were at the air show.
Oh,
Yeah,
bad
I
news.
wasn't
There's a
there.
brand new
I
one.
wasn't there for the air show.
Did you not
unfortunately.
stop for the air show?
No, I stopped to change aeroplanes. So got out of a 777 into an A380 and continued on to Munich. I'm here for a few days and then I'm back to Australia. So
We've all driven out of the servo and forgot to put the fuel cap in, eh?
Yeah,
basically.
definitely. Yeah. It's
Yes.
a common. It's a common. When you dip in the
Whoops.
tanks and all that sort of thing, it's probably the little.
When on a 777, you're dipping the tanks from underneath the wing is the problem. So the fuel cap missing is a bit of a problem.
Well, no, he must have been. He must have been doing the thing when you're looking for a liquid in the fuel. You know, he must have been. Yeah, in the glass underneath and just checking off to the side. The oh, block out.
What about that
I forgot what I was
Hercules
gonna-
that fell apart? And that was
Yeah, that was
wings on that thing,
incredible.
wasn't it?
Yeah. There's been a couple of them because there was a firefighter years ago,
Yeah.
I think in the US.
That was a spar, that one, wasn't it? This one was the
yeah.
prop broke and chopped the front off, and then it pitched up.
Yeah,
and
it
the
looks
tail
like
fell
it.
off.
Yeah, they still haven't found
think-
the prop apparently. So, yeah.
I think I saw, and it's that particular brand of prop, isn't it? I think I've seen some of that over the span of the Hercules. 20 have broken up in flight. So
How many have they built though? I mean,
lots
there's
and lots
craploads
and lots.
and
Yeah.
some of them are very, very old.
I think
Yeah.
crap loads would be the correct technical term for
Mm.
that. I
Don't
believe.
you feel warm and
that-
comfy when you're sitting in an ATR right next to the propeller out the window? doesn't it?
I used to hate that seat. Yeah. Zambia Scareways. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't.
goodness.
I make sure I'm not in those seats.
Yeah.
I'm not in those.
Clearly-
You want to be
Clearly
alive when it hits the
judging-
ground, don't you, Gary?
Yes.
Judging by that video, I think that probably would have been the best seat to be in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a terrible thing. There was something I was going to mention,
Shocking.
but I've completely forgotten it. Oh, Ian, have you remembered that thing that you've forgotten for now 3 weeks?
It was 6 weeks.
So 6
No,
weeks is it?
On the second week, midweek through the week, I remembered for a moment and then forgot again.
Okay, good. So that thing is still lost in the mists of thinkage. Oh, no, I was going to ask Philip, how's the new factory in Australia going?
Yeah, slowly being built more and more. I'm over here in Germany looking at more toys. So yeah.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
You
Fun
good?
and games. So yes,
Oh.
we're sort of expanding the production line. And yeah, a bunch more robots turn up, I think, next week. So yeah, a lot of
the
things
Artemis,
going on that are
Got the Tesla
all-
robots. That'd be cool, eh? Those Tesla ones.
That would be a bit of fun, but I'd like my products to not be thrown wildly across the factory floor. So
What about that?
I'll
was it
wait a
the
bit for the-
Chinese one? The
Yeah,
Chinese one fell to
Chinese
pieces when it
ones.
fell over or something on the
They've
stage.
been
You see
quite
that?
entertaining. Yeah. Well, we've got one of those puppy dogs from Unitree, and yeah, it's been rebuilt quite a few times because it throws little schizos once in a while. But yeah, yeah,
Does it? Is it
Anyway.
not as reliable as you would have hoped then?
it's perfectly as reliable as I would have expected.
As it, no, that's different. Hoped and expected. No, that's different. That's not the same. That's not the same.
I thought with your money you could have bought a Boston Dynamics.
There was one actually up for sale the other day on an auction that I was very tempted to get, but don't want one of them.
Yeah, well,
They promised not to do any harm. Where's the fun in that?
Oh yeah,
Um,
I've seen
Jerome,
them shoot
how-
machine guns on them.
yeah. Well, you see all the Chinese ones coming out of the carrier unit and then all departing. And oh yeah, that's a little bit worrying, isn't it?
Yeah, those little tripwires are going to be a real problem, aren't they?
Brendan will
What
give
you mean?
a
All
deal on
that, all the fiber optic that's currently
Fibre
on the
optic.
battlefield. Yeah,
You see the dogs tripping over it and getting tangled up in it.
it's one way to grab it all up, isn't it? I want to look at this long comment from Drone Powered Food Logistics. Grid integrated robotic kitchens, locally manufactured UAVs, renewable energy to make affordable, hygienic meals accessible within minutes, reduce food waste. I don't know.
Just pizza delivery,
feel
isn't it?
this sounds
Yeah.
like an ad.
It's clear. It does a little bit. I
Sounds like
think-
someone's
Look at that
promoting
picture.
It's been
themselves.
spammed mid-air.
It's a very long
Do you
comment,
remember,
isn't
do you
it?
remember when? Do you remember when tweets had to be really short? Wasn't that good?
But you
Well, it's your
you've made it when the
startup
spammers
idea.
come in.
That's his startup idea. So let's give him some honest.
No,
Some
it's my
honest
startup
feedback.
idea.
Yeah, let's give him some honest feedback. Let's look at
All right,
that
let's.
again.
Well,
I think my instant feeling is that I've covered Philip up on this one, so that's
yeah,
quite
that's
good.
good.
But that's
That's a
good.
bonus.
That's
It
important.
means I can do this and no one else.
Yeah,
I
but
can
on
see
the
you,
on the other stream, that's visible.
Yeah. Which one's live?
Both.
Oh, whoops. Sorry, guys.
He was only doing it once, the once thing. I think the drone bit adds complexity. You might as well be on an electric scooter delivering that.
Well, I mean, no,
That
a
food.
drone-powered food logistics grid is what Manna's doing. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
they're doing
exactly
a
what they're doing.
luxury, but
I'm
they're doing a
looking-
luxury.
No, it's like anything. It has to start at luxury because until you can
That's where the money
scale
is.
to the point, that's where the money is. It's like anything. I mean, when cars first came out, they were not affordable to every Joe blog. That's sort of how it is. You have the elites get away with stuff for 10, 20 years, and then it filters down to everyone else, or Formula One gets it, and then it filters down to everyone else, whichever way you want to look at it. That's unfortunately just the way it works. I mean, in Russia, it didn't work that way. Everyone got a shitty car equally
That's
after
communism, mate.
5 years wait. So, I mean, it depends. Do you want shitty car equally, or do you want really good quality stuff eventually?
What I want to know
It's sort of
is
your choice.
is the unhygienic meals cheaper?
Is the unhygienic meals? Why are they unhygienic?
Well, they give you an
No.
option of hygienic meals.
There's too much.
It's-
There's way too much certification there. Way too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
your biggest thing. It's going to be
Yeah.
much easier to get that electric vehicle for delivering and have somebody riding it than get.
I actually think that there has to be a crossover point where that has to change. I mean, the reality is that, I've been to London, those guys on their bicycles cruising through
Yeah.
the streets. I'm sorry, but there is not a single drone on the planet that is more dangerous than those guys on their bicycles.
But wait till the
Um,
illegal immigrants learn how to fly drones. The whole face of the market will change.
Well, you drop me an email, May and Jacob 9380, and we have.
Local government backing.
Yeah, well,
Well, if
we've
you got government
operated.
backing, And that's good.
We've operated in Uganda, and
Yeah.
so I do know some of the
But the
whys
patient
and
died.
wavefuls. Exactly, yes, because I'm not a surgeon, but I did operate because I could just get there and do it. But yeah, it's
Yeah, if you got government
Yeah.
backing, it's always a good start.
Yeah.
get out of it quick though. Get in there and get out quick. It's so many moving parts, isn't there? The actual creation of the food, the drone
As long as
stuff,
not
the
arranged
regulation
coaxially.
stuff. Yeah, no coaxial moving parts. Yeah,
It's,
So-
Now they can be coaxial, but rotate them the same way.
Oh yeah, you had that going, didn't you? What's that?
Yeah.
When did we
Yeah.
spoke about that?
It works perfectly. It flies the same. It just, again, one more thing that proves that their patent is stupid. Patent doesn't prove anything. It doesn't matter which way you spin the props. That's irrelevant.
And who was
Is it
flying that?
novel?
Wasn't Manna flying that?
There are
Someone was
plenty of
flying.
people. There are people flying that. Let's just leave it at that.
Ornithopters for the win.
Ornithopters all the way. I don't know what the flap's about.
And when it comes to efficiency, the less blades, the better. You know, single blade per arm is more efficient than 4 blades per arm. If you want to really get down to the details of
Losses
it.
of a killer.
Yeah.
And that's been a
Helicopters rule. Yeah.
Oh, and how are you getting on with that? Are you progressing towards your solo? Or have you not been there long enough?
I'm
yet?
just waiting for my medical. So, you know,
Are you flying unirotors now?
yeah. So fun and games.
Yeah,
Flying in the Robinson 44 at the
a
moment.
proper one, a proper helicopter.
We're switching
Flying
over to
close
the Bell
formation.
206 soon. So yes.
And that's. Can you talk about anything to do with that, or can you not talk about anything?
A
to do
little
with
bit.
that?
I mean, obviously, I think most people know we took over Hyonis, and Hyonis is doing DO178 certifiable flight stacks, and we have grand plans for doing a DO178 certifiable system that actually involves full standard ArduPilot. So, you know, watch this space for open source meets certification, just to confuse the crap out of everyone. So that's where we're heading.
No, good stuff. And that's in France, I believe. So that's
between France and Australia. It's France, not France. You know.
Oh, France.
We're an Australian company, so you know.
Sorry, it's France.
And I'm not wearing this as we're discussing this topic. You know. No, that's not controversial at all. Yeah.
So when you say certified open source, do you mean hardware and software? So you'll be a ArduPilot flying something certified?
DO178C for the software and DO254 for the hardware. Yep. So yeah. So there you go. So maybe maybe your friends over in China that you love so much, Ian.
They'll finally be able to get it. Absolutely.
The friends in China keep saying they're not flying ArduPilot, so it doesn't really help them, does it? Because they've made their own, haven't they?
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't know what they've done, but look, if they're not flying ArduPilot, that would be good for everyone, because when they crash, you know, that's not a good thing. So yeah,
I think they've engineered their own zip ties as well, haven't they, Ian?
They have. Yeah, and they invented coaxial rotors as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they 50 ohm or 75? Yeah.
Someone suggested I should contact them for the patent pool. I've got a feeling they're not going to talk to me.
Get Ian to talk to them then.
Yeah,
Ian will be fine. Ian's the
spokesman.
That's right. Ian will be.
Yeah, you've not said much bad about them anyway.
I have. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I got them kicked out of the country, so you know.
Which country?
China.
Yeah, which one of the countries that they've been kicked out of? Yeah,
a country that was next door to the person who was just talking about their startup idea. That I won't name the name of the country.
Okay.
Anyway. Yes, they wanted to test on people over there because they value their lives less than the lives of their fellow countrymen. I find it very sickening when people do things like that. Fly in your own country, kill your own people.
Rhymes with Coanda.
What concerned me as well is seeing videos and putting influencers in as essentially test pilots. I'm like,
but they never asked us. They never asked us.
No,
Ian, there's worse people in the world to use as test pilots.
Well, I was going to say, actually, though, that's where I was going. I was going to say I was actually conflicted, because for a moment I was thinking, this is a really bad thing to do. And then other half of me was thinking, oh, if it crashes now, it'd be funny.
Yeah, but mind you, I mean, I had that moment just recently when a particular ex-Facebook superstar got delivery of his vehicle, which I won't name again. There was definitely a moment of nerves as he took off in his vehicle, thinking, but
I can't think what that rhymes with.
I
Hang
can't
on,
think
I'll
of it
think
either.
what that rhymes in a minute. What does
Yeah.
that rhyme with? But yeah, and he uses it on all his. I can't think what that rhymes with.
Does it rhyme with silver?
What a lucky boy. Yeah.
I can't. It's yeah, the what did that rhyme with? I can't make it rhyme with anything.
George
Damn.
Lucky.
Yeah. Oh, George. Oh, yeah. Well, there's that person. Yeah. Meet
Yeah.
George. Oh, Cliff's got it there. Yeah. Yeah. He I wouldn't
Yes.
mind having a go in one of those machines. Those do look.
Oh, I'd love to.
Right.
I mean, me and Michael went over to Italy and had a play with one. It's definitely an amazing piece of equipment. I love it. I'm fully supportive of that vehicle. I think to me, it's like an off-road motorbike. You get in it because it's risky. You get in it because it's fun, and the cause is going to be someone drove into the ground too hard or drove into a tree or did something stupid. That's the reality of it, and everyone who gets on board needs to just realize that that's reality. And I fully support that. If people want to do crazy stuff, we don't. I was going to say we don't ban base jumping, but technically we do. But it doesn't stop anyone, and we all love it. So I mean, we
As
love
long as you
watching
don't fly
other
tiny
We all
drone
love
in
it.
your own
Yeah.
backyard.
we love watching other people do it. I'm not stupid enough to do it myself.
Yeah, no, but
I-
Bruce should not fly in his backyard and should not fly in the park. He should
No,
not
no,
fly
no.
150
There are
gram.
No.
What people should
Yeah.
be allowed to do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
right. Yeah,
absolutely.
250
And what-
grams. Oh, it's deadly.
That's
Hell of a
a,
weight.
it's 150 grams too much for him, I say.
I mean, imagine if you put 250 grams of lead in a cannon, how dangerous that would be.
Yeah.
well,
No, can't think.
wow,
Can't imagine that.
wow. The what about small autopilots? Any news on tiny
Yeah.
autopilots coming from
Where's mine?
you, Mr. Rouse?
Yeah.
Tiny ones.
I don't think any of that's sort of a surprise. That's the whole point of the factory in Australia. Yeah, so
It's a tiny factory, is it?
Yeah, a really small factory.
It's
Or
actually a
it's a
really-
big factory far
a big
away, or a
factory
tiny
for
factory
a
really
tiny
close.
one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
The factory's big. There's 9,000 square meters of factory space to build something that is 9 millimeters by 13 millimeters. So it's a little bit crazy, but anyway, yeah.
They'll all be nice
But
before
when are they coming though? When are they arriving?
I think
to the world?
the plan was March 2025.
yes.
Nearly
yes,
ready
yes.
then.
Yeah, nearly.
And
So, yeah.
while here, when's Argy Gimbal coming out?
Hey, I built Arju Gimbal years ago. It's still sitting on my desk. The fact that no one else has done anything with it, I did the hardware bit. That's my job. Done. Everyone else can, make it work. That's not what I do.
And when the
So-
what's the market going to look like once Ukraine's won?
Ooh.
That'll be soon.
I think that there's a lot of people that have joined the drone industry in the last 3 years that are in for a rude shock. I'm fully expecting the drone industry to basically collapse mostly, because everyone's got this whole idea of they're all going to become the next military, this, that, and the other. And yes, while there's a war going on, there is an appetite for that. The companies that will survive are the ones that remember that we got into this to save lives. We got into this to, rescue kittens from trees, all the important things. Not that drones are really great for that, but, it'll get the kitten out. I think anyone who's really focusing on the military that wasn't already in the military side of things is in for a rude shock. I mean, there's companies like Anduril, obviously, and people like that that'll do fine because they're big enough to succeed and weather everything.
They'll just pivot
So-
to pizza delivery drones, won't they?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So it's once Ukraine's won, everybody is delivering pizza to Cliff in New Zealand.
Well, I think
That's
there'll be a sort of I don't think like it won't be. There'll still be a slight rise as people start preparing for the next thing. But there's only so many drones you need to put in storage ready for, them to become obsolete. Yeah, and then people will get back into development cycles and improving things, and it'll basically be business of three years ago. So yeah, Kawaida.
I also think looking at the development in counter drone, because obviously a lot of counter drones focused on just zapping
DJI out of the sky.
Well, no, I was going to say there's a lot of serious stuff now about getting an entire swarm of drones out of the sky. So with the armies and RAFs and likes of the world, and it looks like they are making some genuine progress in that area.
I know you've been a fan of counter UAS as evidence that there's no drones, but I'm still convinced that most of it is snake oil. There are definitely some decent ones, but they were decent back before Gatwick. But
all I'm thinking of is they've got stuff where obviously we've got some stuff that's laser based. There's some stuff I think it's like microwave, just stuff that will just toast
on
a whole load of drones coming at you.
Yeah, but I mean, look, this isn't the place to list all the defeats for everything. But there's not a counter UAS system that exists that we don't have a defeat for. So, I'm not impressed by anything.
It's the moment someone gets to the point. They do a counter UAS that will just blat a swarm of drones out of the sky. That is it all over for the military. But once you've got a defense thing, it'll be bought, it'll be plonked there, and people then stop building the drones for that task because, frankly, everyone was perfectly happy with the helicopters and Hellfire missiles. You
mean just like everyone stopped building tanks because tanks are sitting ducks to javelins even before drones even came into the thing, and yet we're still building tanks and still using tanks.
There's a bit of latency in the system.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, the reality is that the tanks of the future will have to be autonomous. But we're still going to have tanks. Counter UAS can be as effective as you want it to be. We'll find a way around it.
I just don't.
And then we'll destroy the counter UAS system.
The point is, Philip, if you were having a war, two big powers, they're not putting drones into a truck and driving it out there. They don't need to. They can fire the big, huge missiles and blow each other up that way. So the Ukraine war is unique.
No, the Ukraine war is the new normal.
I know it's not because we're still not going to be flying drones around when you can just put up an Apache and blow your target from 4 miles away. There just isn't.
Except that I'll take out your Apache.
But surely we can all sit down on a game of Call of Duty or something and don't worry about the weapons. Just have a computer game. That's what it's turning into anyway.
Well, what about flick a coin? We could just flick a coin. I mean,
the robot dogs with machine guns on, they'll just shoot the drones out of the sky. Next thing along.
I just have a hunch. It's a little bit more nuanced.
Good Taylor at one show.
just a little bit more nuanced than
Wait. Now, hang on. Now I can do what the Skydio guys did to me.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Well, I've been to Ukraine now, so I can claim.
Oh yes.
I know more than you because
yes. Yeah. Well, yeah, absolutely.
So does that mean I'm no longer the weakest CEO in the industry? Because that was my title.
No, you still are. No, you still are.
Damn.
It's a bit above the station, isn't it?
Yeah. No, I'm with Skydio on that one.
Just going back to it for a moment now, because what you've said, because I've been able to see his video of the scary drones that you can't see, but that makes an important point with what's all this nonsense with the EU and the BBC reporting and all that.
Yeah.
These Russian drones don't have any lights on. And again, when people are saying drone sighting, again, as Philip mentioned, you hear the bleeding things. There's sirens going off, all this noise, and you can still hear these drones. So
Yeah, but I
know
think it's a
that-
bit different with the. I think it's slightly different with the Ukrainian or sorry, the Russian drones in Ukraine because they're bigger drones. Those
Yeah,
are
but
big-
Yeah, but,
the point
but
is-
even if it was smaller, even if it's smaller, you're gonna hear that mostly before you
Well,
see lights, unless of
well,
course
it
the
depends on
intention.
the conditions. It depends on where you are.
Sure,
It-
but
you know.
even if you're up to no good, you turn the lights off. If you
Yeah.
can't turn the lights off, you put tape over the lights.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
not that big a deal, unless of course your intention is to be seen. If you're in a small device and you're wanting to be seen, and they can't find the darn thing, well, they're doing something really, really wrong. You don't need a counter UAS system by the time you're
No.
seeing the drone.
Yeah.
You know, it's
The Chinese
It's a
lanterns
good
are
point,
cheaper than
though.
drones.
The people don't realise that you know firsthand, Philip. It's far scarier and menacing to have a drone that you can't see, that you can hear, that you know that
Yeah.
there, you don't know what's
Yes.
going to hit. So if you
Yeah.
really did want to scare somebody, putting lights
Yeah.
on it isn't the way you go. It's actually
No.
saying, I'm here and you don't know where
You
I
put
am.
a,
It's
you put
actually
a pulse jet
more
on it.
menacing.
That's how you scare them.
yeah,
well,
exactly.
funny, Mega Tesla says this on the not the Puma, what was the smaller one from AeroVironment? Whatever, Raven. On the Raven, they had this thing which they sold it as an aerial denial attachment, and it was a whistle. A whistle on the side of the thing, and that
So when they
was
flew
that
over,
made-
everyone thought it was half time.
Exactly, that's right, and they got the lemon, the orange halves out, and all that sort of thing. That's
Yeah.
right. No, but it's
Time for
exactly
tea.
like the Stuka sirens. It's exactly that sort of thing. Because
It's that
even
fear
if
from
that thing,
above.
yeah, if it's if you heard it was in the sky, then you put your head down, and that was the whole point. But that whistle cost a fortune. I can't remember what it cost. It was a mil-spec whistle. And remember, that's back in the day with the military stuff. Didn't they operate on 3 frequencies? I think it was 3 frequencies. And when you snap the battery in the thing, you didn't know if it was going to power up and want to go because someone else in that trench over there was using the same frequency. Oh, happy days. Happy days. Happy days. No, we've been going for an hour and a half. That's a lot
Way
of
too
pain for the dear viewer. I'm very sorry, dear viewer. We'll put an end to this right now and wish you all the best for the rest of the week. Although I suppose, traditionally, I have to say, does any more have any more? And this is where Ian goes on.
And now, very quickly, I just
No,
want to
there we
say,
go. Okay, yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
I'm going to say,
Bye.
Reba, that was on last week from the EU, has been doing tremendous work. He has spoken to so many journalists and had so many articles. I know he's already got an articles coming out from Spain on the weekend. He's just been absolutely relentless. So he's been, hands connected everywhere around the EU. So I'm just amazed at how many journalists he's managed to get to listen and to write articles. So I just wanted to give a shout out to just seeing that Herculean effort by one guy.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
All right, dear viewer, wherever you are in the world, look after yourselves. We'll see you again. 2100 Gin and Tonic next week. Cheers, everyone. Look after yourselves.